Very few people know this about me, but my biggest skill by far is finding incredibly talented people and somehow getting them to join us and our company. A lot of people have asked me to break down this process, and to be honest with you guys, for a while I was hesitant because I feel like it's just something that I personally know, not something that I can necessarily teach. But I did some thinking and I came out with a few frameworks that I truly do believe can help you guys replicate what I've been able to do. I want to talk about Google and Gary Vee and how they're able to attract really good talent. Google is an amazing place that people want to work at. Gary Vee is an amazing leader that people want to work for. The first foundational rule to attracting A players, by far, hands down, is that you need to be a person that people want to work for or create a place or company that people want to work for. If you want to have the greatest, most talented people in the world come work for you, that is the key. That's what companies like Google and companies like VaynerMedia have been able to do. Gary Vee does it by creating a personal brand and having this persona where people want to work for him. And Google does it by creating such an incredible workplace that people have literally quit their jobs working at Google and then come back because they missed working at Google. That is such a powerful concept. They've created a place where people can go out and make more money by themselves, but they'll still come back and work at Google because it's a place that people want to work for and work at. Aside from everything else, if you don't get that foundational rule down, you will not attract A players. You have to be someone that people want to work for or create a company people want to work at. How do you do that? Well, you have to create culture. For example, last year, we had a Mexico mastermind where we rented out 2 yachts, and it was pretty much half mastermind, half vacation, and it was absolutely insane. And as part of it, we invited all of our team members to join us. If your company did that, wouldn't you be excited? Wouldn't you want to go work for them? What's really interesting is that around that event, we actually had a ton of people reach out wanting to apply to work for us. Why? Because they wanted to come to the freaking Mexico event. And I know that sounds a little bit like they're taking advantage of us and they just want to join the team and the company for the event. But quite honestly,
we do not care.
That's how you get people to want to come work for you. You have to create culture. You have to do things that people are interested in. And by the way, that's just one example. It could also be having really good leadership, and that's part of the culture. So just creating an amazing environment that people want to be a part of. The second thing that I highly recommend everyone to do, if you want to attract A players and you're at the level of your business that you need to bring in really good talent, start creating content. If you build an authority for yourself in your niche, in your space, people will notice, and it's going to be a lot easier to get really amazing people to come work for you. For example, I've been creating content now for a few years, and the other day I made one post, literally one post on Facebook, saying that we need new closers. Overnight, I had 20 applications with some of the best closers that I've ever spoken to. If I were in your shoes and I'm thinking, how do I become a person that people want to work for? Well, I create content. I build authority. Next up, your company needs to have opportunity. If your team members feel stuck, if they feel like this company's not really going anywhere, they're not going to want to come work for you. You need to give people opportunity to grow. For example, my top closer in the history of all my companies, Omir Block, what did he do? He came to work for me and I told him, yo, Omir, after you cap out, after you crush it, if you want to go and build a business, I will help you. And now, after working with us for many, many years, he went on and started his own business, and he's leveraged a lot of what he's learned with us to grow that business to over $30,000 per month. When he came to work for us, he knew there was an opportunity for him to learn a lot and grow with us and eventually take everything that he learned and go off and do something even bigger. If you want to attract A players, there's gotta be opportunity for growth. And if there isn't, they're gonna go find somewhere else to work. Last but not least, a lot of people ask me, how did you get 4 7-figure entrepreneurs who work on my team? How did I get such incredible people to come work with me? Why didn't they just go and run their own business instead of leaving their business to come work with me? The way that I did that was by building a network. I've been going to events for years. Not only do I go to events, I also try to add value in every way that I can with people that I know have potential to help me out later down the road for free.
It's free real estate.
So for example, one of the business partners that I have now, his name is Mark, and I met him at an event, and I told him at that event, I'm happy to help you grow your agency for free. I'll give you whatever you want. In exchange, he helped me create the ads and the funnel that ended up taking us from $60K per month to $250,000 per month in less than 6 months. Now, he's our chief marketing officer for my 8-figure company. You have to start building your network, and instead of trying to find A players right out of the gate, start networking with A players and giving to them as much as possible and adding value, nurturing that relationship. Maybe nothing comes of it, and maybe later down the road, you decide to partner up. The last thing that I want to share about networking and A players. If you want to bring A players, you're going to have to give A compensation, whether that's giving away equity or really high salary or profit share. If you want to bring in A players that will be able to go off and make a lot of money on their own, and you want to get them to come and work with you, you're going to have to compensate them accordingly. So for example, that business partner that I was telling you about, Mark, I gave him 1/3 of my business. It was worth it. I compensated him in a way that made it worth it for him to leave what he was doing to come work with me. He owned a 7-figure business with someone else, 50-50. Now he owns 1/3 of an 8-figure business. And he also has all of our resources, our team, and the potential to grow even more. You have to give away something really good if you want to get something really good. That's the takeaway. Hopefully this gives you guys some frameworks on how to attract A players, and that is a wrap.